Long time no see, everybody. Good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. I'm sure if you're joining us now, you probably joined us for the post-match reaction. So good to see you again. Brighton have just equalized 1-1 just to get things started. Not too much positive for us happening in the games that we are keeping an eye on because as of now, it is 1-0 West Ham over Fulham. No score, Brentford, Newcastle, no score, Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest, no score, and Leicester, Bournemouth. So I guess if there's any positive, that's a positive. Wolves have taken a 1-0 lead over Chelsea as well. Somebody's already commented Lampard is letting us down again. Very true. The Blues, there he is, buddy. Again, long way to go. We're not getting too up in arms, but I will say that Lampard's teams don't exactly respond well when going down 1-0, as we've seen. So we'll see what Chelsea can do at the Molineux. But other than that, it's an own goal, by the way, in the Fulham-West Ham game. I believe it was Harrison Reed who scored that one. So Fulham are at home. I think that they can get something out. West Ham's away form has just been absolutely atrocious. So if there's anything, then to be taken from that. We have a goal also. That's Billing. It's a goal for Bournemouth, 1-0 over Leicester. I saw a defender running back in seemingly an empty net. So I am curious how that was built up. I just saw the ball go in. I didn't see how it happened. 1-0 to Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's a fantastic update. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to be disparaging about that. Like your ability to update that, it's just not great news being an Evertonian at the moment. Looking at the scores, it's mostly doom and gloom, really, isn't it?
Yep. It's a horrific turnover. I don't know which Leicester midfielder it was. It's an absolute abomination from Leicester. That might have actually been James Maddison. Just a blatant giveaway on an awful pass that's absolutely James Maddison on a pass that reminds you of the pass that Ganache made in the Brighton game. It looked just like it. Maddison gives it just a simple hospital ball back, gives it right to Billing, who makes no mistake, as Iverson, I assume, is in net for Leicester. Comes out to try, but he's got no chance. It's all on Maddison, and Bournemouth take advantage. It's 1-0. That is an atrocious piece of play from James Maddison.
Yeah, it's delightful stuff. I mean, you are covering a couple of the matches. I've got Fulham and Villa games here. I mean, Zuma's been a little bit off the pace with an injury. Jonjo Shelvey's been dominating a bit for Forest, and it's just it's looking like these games could really go either way. You know, Fulham are making a few fouls without Mitrovic, and it looks like they're in jeopardy of going further down. But then West Ham aren't really capitalising because Fulham are making, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Just after that hour-long stream and watching the Everton game, it's just very frustrating.
We're still reeling a bit from the Everton performance that wasn't. We'll say no. I get it, but at the end of the day, it's still keeping an eye on the football. Like you said, we have to move on. Much like Bournemouth deserved the lead. Leicester is so poor. Yeah, Leicester have just been an abomination of a football team for weeks now, and I don't know if any new manager can come in, especially the likes of Jesse Marsh, and turn this thing around. You know, people forget. I know Leicester have a couple of players that we consider goal scorers, and I say that because they have put balls in the back of the net, but they haven't as of late. And we know that what the quality, not that Leeds were a prime side last season, but we saw what Rafinha did for Leeds. We saw a couple of the players that Jesse Marsh has. I don't know who he's going to find at Leicester that are going to do that. Is Harvey Barnes going to turn up? Is James Maddison going to turn up? Is Jamie Vardy going to turn up? Is Daka going to turn up? Iheanacho? I can name players that we know their name, but until they start having these performances on the pitch, Leicester just keep losing. And what can you say? Leicester are poor. I mean, if we have to pick a result that we want other than a draw, I guess we pick Bournemouth winning to keep Leicester below us. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the one positive that I can say is that Ivan Toney, who looks like he's going to score today, who's had a goal disallowed for offside, who's had a penalty saved against Newcastle. All I've got to say is that at least that match doesn't affect our standing.
Has it? When was the penalty saved?
Oh, that was about 5 minutes ago. It was saved by Picknope.
pick nope. Well played.
Yeah,
Which is good because I've got here on the fantasy show, I've got Nick Pope, so that's a cool few points for me there. Get in there, baby. And I need it because after last week, I'm no longer top of all my leagues. So we need a little bit of a resurgence this week. The Blues sounds like Leicester fans have returned on the team. I don't have sound, my man, so I'm not sure, but I'll take your word for it there. I could turn it on, but perhaps I've missed the booze and the chants, etc. Another pen for Brentford.
I can't say I'm watching that game.
That's what the Eugene says. There was a VAR check. And I don't have that game on as well. I can actually try and get that one on. I've got a laptop here as well. This is quite the setup we have going on right now because I'm not used to having 7 games on at once. So we'll see. This laptop is a fairly slower than any other thing I have. So I don't know if the quality will be good, but I will try and get it on. Be funny if Tony has a second penalty saved. I'm assuming they're going to stick with Tony for the penalty.
I mean, it's just thanks for joining us, everyone. We really do appreciate it. It's yes, another penalty for Brentford in added time, the end of the first half. Let's see what happens.
I don't think it's Tony going to take it. Maybe it is. Yeah, okay, it is. It is Tony that steps up. They made it. They acted like it might be someone else.
Look,
do you have that one on, Jan?
Ages, I think Newcastle United and Everton fans will be in agreement that Ivan Toney should not be playing. What do you think?
He steps up. Oh no, I fully agree. I think it's a joke. I'll give my opinion here in a second. Tony, the ball's on the spot. Tony steps up and wow, Pope goes the right way, but it's absolutely powered into the back of the net by Tony. It's a good pen. And it's 1-0 to Brentford. I think it's I keep using the term unbelievable and it's overused, but how someone can admit to potentially ruining the integrity of the game and still not only play, but continue to play every week without any sort of a hint of a suspension is an abomination of integrity by Premier League at worst, or at best, I should say. And at worst, it's criminal in every literal sense of the form. So don't really know what to say. Pope is about that close from saving it again, by the way.
I mean, Leon does make a good point. Surely we want Tony to play since he's playing our rivals. Yes.
But yeah, that's not the point, though.
Yeah, it's like, look, if we want consistency, if we want standards, if we want to argue about, oh, that should be a penalty for us, and, you want things done right. It's halftime. It's halftime at Craven Cottage. West Ham go in a goal up.
Halftime at the Molineux as well. It's 1-0 to Wolves, and at the King Power just at halftime as well. It's 1-0 to Bournemouth. VAR did check that to see if I would assume to see if Brentford had crossed the line, maybe the box line.
But speaking of VAR, right? Do you know? I don't know whether you'll recognize it because they don't tend to have replays on the big screen at Goodison anymore. But what they used to do was show replays of goals, of offsides, of fouls, of various things like that, and they often wouldn't show it if it disagreed with the on-field decision. Now, what I find very strange is that that's also sometimes true of TV broadcasting. And I just want to say, watching the Man United Everton game earlier, there was a talk of VAR for the first goal. For the second goal, when the ball was played through. Oh God, I can't even remember. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm missing it. Don't worry.
No. The offside. I know exactly what you're talking about. Rashford looked a bit offside on the build-up before Coleman even touched the ball, and yeah. I'm surprised that it wasn't checked. I'm not saying it would have been overturned, but to say it was just as close as some of these other decisions that we've seen been overturned or at least been looked at. So I'm assuming there was a check, but again, that might be me being a bit naive to think that we would get the benefit of the doubt there. But I'm assuming there was a VAR check, but it was very close. It is what it is.
I just maybe Ivan Toney should change his name to Tobet. Ivan Tobet. Sorry, that was.
Oh, how long you had that one in the holster?
Ivan to play the bet.
Rashford looked marginally off like Gray was. I don't know about that one. Rashford was really a threat for most of the game, I thought. But he looked marginally off in terms of finishing. I guess I'll give you that.
It's only like God, I can't recall it. Rashford's last goal. Who did United last play? Chelsea?
Brentford.
No.
Brentford.
When Rashford scored, it's because he volleyed it or half volleyed it into the top of the net from another player being onside. But my point is, when that ball is played to the player who heads it down to him, Rashford is offside. So by that logic, that he then is, although he's in an onside position when the ball's played to him, the fact is he's got an unfair advantage by positioning himself in an offside position to then be available for the knockdown. And my argument is, it's frustrating. It's just frustrating to see like a lack of consistency in an application of the rules and how, yeah, it just, anyway, let's not.
No,
Sorry.
very frustrating. Off
because
as an
if they're
off.
not gonna...
Oh, my bad. I thought I got you the Blues. Yeah, a little bit. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I'm just complaining because, although
continuing our
for
rant.
what it's worth, it's halftime. It's halftime at the Villa as Aston Villa going at halftime 0-0 against Forest. But there is an absolute age. There's a 1,600 meters worth of injury time. No, it's more. They're in the 8th minute of injury time at White Hart Lane, or the new White Hart Lane.
8th minute. What's going on over there? Did Son break somebody else's leg?
Possibly. Okay. While that is true, the very fact that yes, but competing things can be true at the same time. The fact is, he's admitted to placing bets, which is not allowed to do as a professional footballer. Now, there are plenty of ways around it. I knew loads of fellas who'd give their other mates and tell them just to put the bets on for them, and that's and all this kind of crap. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good take, Leon. Again, you've in other sports, even in English football, you've seen players banned, some for life for this sort of thing. So while I don't disagree, I'm as a human being, I'm not saying that he should be exiled from the game. What I'm saying is, as a player, as we've seen in the past with players suspended for this for certain amounts of time,
and he's admitted guilt.
And he's admitted to doing it he's committed an offense. He's admitted to it. It's no different than any other offense. Let's say someone is drink driving, for instance.
I was just about to say it's like a doctor. It's like a doctor or a surgeon, saying that I'm drunk, and then going, well, cool, just finish up the operation.
Yeah, what? I mean, we know they should be given help for this thing that is obviously an addiction or a problem, but that doesn't mean that they should go on doing it. Again, a little bit there, apples and oranges there, but from a logical perspective, I think it makes a little bit of sense. I don't, at this point, couldn't agree more. We want him playing against some of our relegation rivals, but again, the fact from a morality standpoint and more so an integrity standpoint, it's a joke, plain and simple.
But this is PGMOL and the English FA, so what do you expect?
Fantastic. They're showing the highlights of the Spurs and Brighton. Absolutely class finish from Son Heung-min from about 20 yards out right into the top corner. And a great finish from Brighton as well. Good cross in. It looks like, that must be Matoma. That must be one that was chalked off. Yeah, it's a great trap. It kind of is one of those that hits up here for Kaoru Matoma. The goal's ruled out. Brighton do equalize just a few minutes after that. But that's another one. I've seen, 3 of these now where it sort of hits right here in between the arm and the chest. And it's almost just, it gets different every week. I've seen it given once and disallowed twice, with the obvious first one being Damari Gray. But
so is anyone else joining us, Chris? Because I'm starting to get a little bit sick of football.
mate, if you want to go do other things, I have no problem handling this myself. Don't feel obligated by any.
When you say other things, do you mean drink? Okay, what I will do during half time is I will use this opportunity to point out. I went to school many years ago with a group of lovely lads, and we used to just have sort of parties and whatever, and hang out and play music together. And they are in a band called Phoria, Phoria. They've got several albums, EPs out, I'm not being paid to do this. I just think that they're really funky. Check them out on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever it is, or whatever your service is, even Apple Music. Just check them out. Phoria, Phoria, like euphoria or dysphoria, just feeling.
I like it. We'll definitely check that out as well.
Yeah.
40. Yeah, nothing to report. It's like it's halftime. Obviously, there's nothing going on, and we've already gotten all that we want to say about Everton out already. So at this point, we're just kind of hanging out until the second half begins, which will probably be in 8 to 10 minutes time.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have cameras inside inside any of the grounds. Watching the brown envelopes pass around.
And I know that Ryan hates this view rather than this one, but I think for the watch along, this looks better given that we're actually in studio here in the background. So yeah. I'll deal with him yelling at me later and keep it like this for now.
It's well, Ryan's not doing anything else. He's gone to the doctors actually, so do hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, here Chris likes me. Give him help with betting while playing. Isn't that insider trading? Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. He might not have done anything wrong, but that's not the point. The point is we don't know. And you can't just come out and say what I mean by anything wrong is I'm not saying that Tony was betting on himself to get booked or betting, on Brentford to lose 1-0 or whatever the case was where he could have actually affected the game. We don't know if these offenses were on or against his own team playing. Now, if that's the case, he needs to be banned for life. No questions asked. But we don't know that. All we know is that he was betting. So again, there's where the ambiguity comes in. It's still wrong, in my opinion, because you shouldn't be having a bet if the rules state that you are not to do that. But again, it obviously it jumps into an entirely different stratosphere, a different level. If it turns out he was betting on games that Brentford were involved in, that's inexcusable. You can't defend that.
Yeah, it's the old. Well, I think if it's on any other team, then he needs help. And I think the fact is that there still should be some sort of disciplinary to prove that it's because it's a slippery slope. I mean, there's a really good guy who talks about addiction on Twitter. DJ's one, DJ of the year, Liverpool Echo, and he talks about how it's opening a door, a negotiation with yourself. So all it takes is if you're choosing to do that, not only for his well-being, as quite rightly, we're saying it's a slippery slope, but for his well-being, it's something that you don't want to see and allow. But then equally, all it takes is that one moment of madness to I don't know. It's frustrating. I do feel for the guy. But
yeah, like I said, there's a difference between I understand football players are human beings, but there is a massive difference between the human side and the football side in every sense of the word. And that's simple. It's just again, yeah, I don't know how to make it really any more clear than that. I don't know Ivan Toney. I don't dislike him as a human being. I'm not saying he deserves jail time. What I'm saying is, given what we've seen before and other players getting suspended for, I mean, that's no different. That let's just pretend instead of a betting offense or a gambling offense, he breaks someone's leg. Like, not to keep bringing up, Youngman Son, but he breaks someone's leg. You should be banned for that, as we've seen with other players. If Ivan Toney did it and he still played the next week, we'd be just raking him across the coals right now.
And I do think, it was dangerous play, but I don't think there was intent when he did that.
Say that again, mate. Sorry, Jan.
It was dangerous, but I don't think there was intent when he broke Gomez's leg.
Debatable. What he did, why is getting seen as a ban for life offense while some footballers are killed? Okay, well that's an entirely different conversation. Because that's the latter part of your statement is also wrong. I mean, if we really want to go down that route and bring up a certain player from Man United that might never play for Man United again, Okay, should he play for Man United? No, absolutely not, in my opinion.
He's
But
abused his position.
And if another player did the same thing, they should also not play for that team. And if another player did the same thing, they should also not be back. I mean, our former number 10, we all know his name from a couple of years ago, who's not played for Everton since, and he's not been heard of, and his name's not been mentioned for obvious reasons. If another person did that, they should also be given the same punishment. Ivan Toney should also be given the same punishment that other footballers who have done the same thing before him have been given. That's
Guilty
all.
fiddles bum.
No. What is it? Caught me off guard with that
one. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Well, then.
Wow, that's what, Leon? That's a big, heavy statement. I don't necessarily want to stick it up on the channel without checking that out. I am totally unaware of that. What the hell?
Yeah, we'll leave that one alone. Yeah. I don't again, I think what Jan meant was the intent was not there to do what he did, to have the result that it had. Was it an egregious tackle? Yes. Did we expect to see Andre Gomez's leg actually hanging off of his body? No. I can't watch stuff like that. I get physically ill when I see things like that. That was a rough day for me.
It was intent to tackle him, to do something. Yeah, but I don't think there was the intent to break his leg, because immediately you could see his reaction was like, ugh.
Like, this might be a hot take, but I would argue that Lucas Moura's challenge last week was worse.
Yes, and because it's not like Roy Keane on Yapstat, or on Alfinger Haaland,
or Virgil van Dijk on Onana earlier this season. It wasn't that
or
bad.
Fabinho on anyone.
Yeah, literally. By the way, can we just comment, because we haven't really spoken about this, on how lucky we are to not have Michael Keane out for the rest of the season? That challenge was way worse than I initially thought it was.
Yeah, you saw his ankle go. Bleh.
Yeah, and I mean, like, kudos to Michael Keane for having superhuman ankles, but that could have been horrible. And we were stating the obvious, given that, he scored a goal afterwards. So we're very fortunate for that reason. But just to have him playing, we're fortunate just for that. That was an atrocious challenge by Lucas Moura. And he's not a bad person. He owned it right afterwards. But he wasn't, there was no argument. He put his head in his hands, etc. But what a bad challenge that was.
Do you think that there's anything to my potentially slanderous statement that the difference between Lucas Moura being a teammate of Harry Kane's, Harry Kane getting flicked in the eye, and Doucouré? Do you think there's anything to it that Harry Kane is England's media darling and sort of leader of the line of the England team, and Doucouré is black and Muslim?
I mean, that's not something I want to really get into, to be honest with you. I'll say this about Harry Kane from that side. I mean, he's England's captain. There's an obvious bias there from English referees and English officials in an English game, mostly watched by English people. And so that, I think, my gut says that no matter who did that to Harry Kane, if you put your hands in somebody's face and they go down like they've been shot, in the manner that Harry Kane did, especially if there was actual contact, albeit minimal, that they were going to get sent off regardless. That's what I want to believe.
I mean, nearly every person that I know has been in the pub drinking a pint and smacked themselves in the teeth with their own pint glass with more force than Doucouré put in Kane's face.
Someone commented on my daily digest video yesterday that I for a little bit of the video, the microphone was like this, and one of the comments was, "Your microphone looks very intrusive," and I said the mic did more to me than Doucouré did to Kane.
See, for mine, I went.
We have an Anthony Gordon sighting, by the way.
I hunt a fresh badger every night.
I don't know what that
There is a difference, by the way, between American badgers and European badgers.
It's another horrible turnover from Leicester, and it might be 2. It is. Oh, it's a brilliant save. Should have been 2-0 Bournemouth on another just a dead giveaway. I cannot describe to you how bad Leicester are at football right now, and for the last a long time. Should be 2-0 Bournemouth. Know it. And it's one of those where they very quickly realized it. And I'm watching this again. It's just awful. Leicester just missed. It's not a giveaway, but it's two very blatantly missed easy headers. And it should be 2-0, but it's not. And so we'll see if Leicester, honestly, at this point, like I said, I would rather this be a draw. So if anything, I think we should be rooting for Leicester to equalize, but that's subjective. But we'll see.
I mean, how subjective do you really want to be?
I don't know.
It's frustrating.
It is. That's a great save, though. Give him credit where credit due. Full extension, almost does the splits on a save with his left foot. Meanwhile, Claire Balding's already given him one away. By the way, I make jokes because we talked about it the other day. I actually don't care what Anthony Gordon does from here on out. He's not a player anymore. He's just like any other player on any other team. I know a lot of people tend to find comedy in him screwing up, and it is to an extent a little bit, it makes me giggle, but it's not one where I'm going to keep live tweeting about it and taking joy in the fact that he's not scoring goals or anything like that. That's just I just don't care. That's the thing, right or wrong.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
but it does make me laugh. I'll give you that. It makes me giggle just a little bit, but not just as much as it does Danjuma continuing to ride the bench and never seeing any minutes whatsoever.
Yeah, it's one of those where you kind of it's Schadenfreude, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at Dave Weston in the comments. Jesse will take a team in 19th to 20th by the end of the season. I don't know about that. Southampton are a special kind of bad, and they get Man City this week. So I actually could see that game getting very ugly very quickly because they have Erling Haaland back. So we'll see. But and I know City's form hasn't been wonderful. Who plays first, by the way? What's the schedule tomorrow? Do Arsenal play before City, or is it the other way around? Arsenal are at Anfield tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, Southampton and City's today, actually. Sorry, that's the late game.
It is. It's 5:30. Leeds tomorrow. Leeds Crystal Palace at 2, and then Liverpool Arsenal at 4:30.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have the energy to do a watch along with Leeds and Palace tomorrow because that would make me a mess. So I can't promise I can't promise our loyal viewers that I'll be around.
No, I mean you're completely right. It's just whether you really want to be bothered with.
Well, I only have so much. I mean, it's gonna be 2 hours of frustration, 2 hours of I can't believe I'm having to watch this. Not to mention both of those teams are shit anyway, so it's not like it's gonna be a fun game to watch. You would think, but it's not gonna be fun on any level. Now, if we really want to see the Liverpool Arsenal match, then okay, fine. At least that'll be two upper half teams playing what should be an entertaining game of football. But do we really want to watch two red teams play each other? Is that going to make anybody happy? Don't know. We'll see. I'll see how I'm feeling in the morning. Put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I might want to watch the earlier game, but
Leeds would. I actually agree with you, John. I don't see a way Leeds drop tomorrow, especially.
Excellent. We do have some good news.
Go on.
Traore has got a goal for Villa against Forest. Way.
My guess would have been Ollie Watkins, but he'll put in a second. Don't you worry.
Well, fingers crossed.
All he does is score, mate. All he does is score. That's good news, though.
It is.
Second game in a row for Traore, by the way, isn't it?
Or
second.
I don't know what to say.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know what to say, really.
Oh, you feel dirty for celebrating
I'm not watching that game anymore because
Uh-oh. Is it 2-0 West Ham?
No. But Wolves, Chelsea are just absolutely... They're not the team that we played.
I've got that one on as well. Yeah, I don't know what to make of Chelsea. I haven't all season, quite frankly. Yeah, I'll say this. That the game of the weekend might be, or the game that we should have the most interest in is one that Jan just reported on, because I do think Forest are, and say what you will about Everton's performance today, but we've looked good over the last 5-6 weeks. I think Forest are one of the most poor teams in the Premier League, and I think that they have the best chance of going down of most of the teams in the bottom 9. And so that's one of those where you do have quite a rooting interest in, and they've looked poor lately as well. It'll be interesting to see. I know they gave Steve Cooper a vote of confidence, but I told you, Jan, as soon as that happened, I said, okay, get your wagers in on him being ousted after this next game. And sure enough, eating Easter eggs. That's funny. Is my signal okay, by the way?
Yeah, your signal's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
Frank's not going to get sacked. They have no reason to at this point. If they've already sacked if they've already sacked 2 managers this season that they've had no reason to, I guess that could be your argument that Frank could go, but they're not chasing anything. They have the Champions League next week against Real Madrid. Once that's done, which will be very quick.
Chelsea should have scored.
Once the Champions League is done for Chelsea, they have nothing else to chase. I mean, technically they're in a chase for Europe, but I don't think they realistically are. So,
but they should be putting in more effort. And Fulham are pretty useless because they're lumping the ball into the box, and they don't seem to be...
But what Wazzo's saying is, could Lampard be the quickest sack? I mean, there's 10 games left. I don't think Lampard's getting the sack.
Chelsea...
What's that?
I was just going to say, I don't think Chelsea will do anything in terms of getting rid of Lampard before the end of the season, no matter what happens to them, because they've almost got nothing to play for. That they could, they're already in the Champions League, but Chelsea look like they really should score. They keep pressuring Wolves in the box. They're all over them.
Speaking of all over, I know I sound repetitive. I can't stress enough how poor Leicester are. Bournemouth could arguably have 4 at this point. It's still 1-0.
Mean against Bournemouth or in general?
In general, but especially against Bournemouth. They're at home playing a team in the bottom 3 right now, and they're getting run off their own pitch. Bournemouth should have at least 2, and they could have at least 4. It's still 1-0. That's their only positive right now, because Bournemouth are all over them in the attacking half. They just missed a fairly good chance. They were given a corner with nothing coming out of it. But Leicester just look like they're not in the same league. It's crazy to see from a side that finished top half 3 seasons in a row. Bournemouth have another chance right now. It's right on the goal. It's cleared off from the 6-yard box. It's crazy to see this from a team like Leicester, given what we've seen the last few seasons.
So I don't know what whether you have this, whether it's a distinctly English
goal for Newcastle. Sorry. Go on.
Distinctly English thing, but have you ever gone to the gym shortly after New Year's when you've let things slide and you've eaten a lot of crap and lots of food, and you go and you've got the last remnants of a hangover, and you're like, I can't do this, and you're there sort of huddled over the treadmill about to like throw up. That's kind of what some of the Wolves players look like. Chelsea are all over them.
Well, hang on. As soon as you say that, Wolves have a bit of a run. That's funny, though. So we think Chelsea will find a goal then, right? Ooh, it almost looked like a... What's your timestamp in the Chelsea-Wolves game?
55.
55 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm ahead of you a little bit. Sorry, mine's gone away for an advert now. I'm on 56:20 at the moment. I'll leave that one alone then. It is 1-1. Not that the game is... Oh, it's given an own goal by the Brentford keeper, Raya. Yeah, I missed how it happened. It must have bounced off of him or something, because it looked like it's just gone in. Joe Linton with the shots. Premier League champions to championship in 7 seasons. Has there been a faster decline? It's a good question, actually.
Wigan going down and winning the FA Cup.
Winning the FA Cup, yeah. I'd like to go
West
back
Ham
and
nearly
see
got a second, yeah. This is not good from an Everton perspective. But Fulham
taking a
like
look now at this. At this Newcastle goal was checked for offside, but it's on. Yeah, I mean, I guess by the letter of the law, that's an own goal. Yeah, okay.
Oh, is it one of those where it bounces back and hits the keeper and goes in?
No, it's so it looks like Joe Linton's trying to make a pass towards the middle, which he's trying to make a pass to Isak in the middle. Reyes sticks his leg out and it goes in off his right leg. So by definition, an own goal. I think it's a bit harsh on the stat sheet, but it is what it is.
I would say, regardless of his brand of football, I want to see. Oh, that should quite possibly be a penalty for Chelsea. A player turned his back, and a Chelsea player took a shot, and it turned his back and it hit a Wolves elbow from behind.
It's not been given.
No.
Jeez.
But yeah, so John has asked this question: Is it right? The type of football we want to see. Well, honestly, I just want to see us for the time being stay in the Premier League, and if he can get the best out of these players to play the kind of football which would be an improvement that guarantees us, more points per game to stay in the Prem, then I don't care really. I want us to play attractive football, but I don't care whether it's attractive as long as we win. First and foremost.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Leicester fans trying to get behind their team. It looks like showing images of the crowd and flag waving, etc. Wait, has this been given? What am I looking at in the Chelsea Wolves game?
Oh, it's a foul.
It's a free kick. Yeah.
Free kick. Yeah. Outside the box, about 20, 25 yards out. I'll tell you what, there's a new pundit reporting from Aston Villa in the Forest game.
Is it Ryan?
No, Jayden Dyer. And I tell you what, when you listen to him, he's incredible. He's concise, he's to the point, and I'm talking over everything he says, so I can't report it, but he's just talked about someone being manhandled and bundled over.
It's a horrible free kick from Chelsea, by the way. Here, I'm on 59.45. I'll slow it down to get even with you. Where are you?
It's all right. You're a minute ahead of me on all of them.
On all of them? I think Chelsea's the only one I've got with you, isn't it? Or do you have every game up?
It's
I'll stay quiet within it. I don't mind. I've got 3 games up right now. It's about the viewers, Jan. They want us to be on the same page.
What, the view from the Bullens, Benji Winstanley, Wanderlust has just said.
What's he said? 2-1 Brighton, apparently. What's he said? Hangs with Villa and Rangers. What's that mean?
Brighton are in front, Danny Welbeck.
Of course, Danny Welbeck. Couldn't be anybody on my fantasy team. It matters to my fantasy team, Jan. Damn it. We'll see if I got an assist. I've got 3 Brighton players and can't even get an assist. So sad. But it is comical because I do like to laugh at Tottenham Hotspur. So
I had a friend who referred to them as who was a Spurs fan, but referred to them as I can't say it. It's well before the watershed.
Okay, well then we better not. We've towed the line earlier this year. Jeff's just commented Leicester are really poor. Jeff, it's shocking. I mean, Leicester are so far beyond poor, and I don't know what manager comes in and saves it. And my first guess is not Jesse Marsch. But wouldn't that be funny if there was some sort of weird Jesse Marsch new manager bounce? Like, what could he possibly say to get this team playing better? Not to mention, there's not going to be an easier fixture than home to Bournemouth. Plain and simple. So I don't know. I have no idea what Leicester do next. I want to pull up their
Fornals and Ings have come off in the West Ham game for Ben Rama and Downs.
All right.
Oh no, sorry. The Danny Welbeck goal has been ruled out for handball.
What a save! What a save! Sorry, Leicester's only good chance of the game. Harvey Barnes. It is a save. It looks like it's been ruled. It was going to be offside anyway, but that was live time. Leicester had their biggest chance of the game. What did you say? That's goals ruled out.
Correction. It's 1-1 Spurs Brighton. The Welbeck's goal has been ruled out for handball.
You can't do that. That is cheating. Look at the table as it stands just to frustrate us a little bit more. Again, these results, obviously, Newcastle, hang on. Let's see if Newcastle, they have. That's a wonderful finish from Newcastle. It's 2-1. Pass to the center of the box. It looks like Alexander Isak is on the score sheet again. It's a lovely finish directly from the center of the 18, right top bags to Raya's left. It is 2-1 Newcastle. I don't see a reason at all that would be ruled out. And wait till you see this. It is a class finish from Isak, who's been on fire as of the last month. 2-1 to Newcastle.
Wow.
So this table that I'm about to show you is slightly off, given it has not updated a couple of things. It hasn't updated the Brighton goal waved off or the Newcastle goal that's just happened. But regardless, none of it matters in terms of what we're looking at in the bottom three here. So as it stands right now, Everton are not in the bottom three. So it's a great visual. Again, it's not great. We're trying to look past our performance today. With Forest losing and Leicester losing, there are still 3 teams lower than us. It's not my favorite thing. My favorite thing to see is not Bournemouth on 30 points, but again, it's all relative to how you want to view things. I think Forest are an atrocious football team, and I think that is where that they will be for the rest of the year. Again, Leicester, what are you going to say? We want to keep believing, or not believing, but we want, just as a common sense thing, we want to say that Leicester will get out of this and Leicester will score goals, etc. I'm watching Leicester today. They don't belong in the Premier League, and they haven't for a month. So I'll believe it when I see it. But Everton are not in the bottom 3 as it stands right now.
I've got to say there was a terrible instance of lack of discipline in the Fulham West Ham game. Vinicius was fouled by either Kufal or Bowen. Is it Bowen, or does he play for Villa?
Jared Bowen, yes.
Yeah, and Zuma. And when Vinicius was on the floor, he lashed out and kicked Zuma in the chest and only got a yellow card.
Yeah, it's because, point proven. What's Dave said here? What kind of pedigree did Jesse Marsh have in the States to get the Leeds job? Did he win? So, did he win the home run touchdown World Series Cup? Well played. Proud of you. Wezzo coming with the haymakers today with these American jokes. I love it. I don't know exactly what. At one point, I want to say Jesse Marsh coached, I think, in New York. I'd have to look that up because I think he had a little bit of a rivalry with Patrick Vieira, and that became a big thing. He also coached Red Bull Salzburg, I believe, in Germany, which is where he coached Erling Haaland, because they joked around last season, when they played Man City, hey, take it easy on us, etc. Things like, or not last season, earlier this season. I'm sorry. He said, take it easy on us. But that I'd have to look this up, but I believe he had Champions League coaching experience as part of Salzburg, but I'm not sure. I might have actually made that up. Let me take a look. But he did have a bit of a pedigree as getting results as a coach. He wasn't hired as coach of Leeds United without having anything whatsoever. It was an experiment. At times it went well, at times it didn't. Was he sacked unfairly? I don't think so. But what he did for Leeds last season, I don't want that to be overlooked. I mean, last season, Leeds were not a great side. Say whatever you want about Jesse Marsh. He obviously inspired that team to stay up in some form or fashion. Now,
Wolves have been all over Chelsea. Chelsea are on the break here. They should really make something of it. And Gallagher does nothing, and he just bonks it. That's the only thing I can describe it as. He just bonks it.
Need to correct myself a bit. He was at Salzburg for a while and then was at RB Leipzig for a little bit as well. So that was where he had their Champions League experience, was at Leipzig. So I apologize for my incorrect reporting.
Dave Weston, right? I do have to say that my correspondence at the Nigerian Daily Post has dried up somewhat. I'm very sorry for missing out on that. Chris, what that is? Oh, there's been another goal for Newcastle.
Are you ahead of? You must be way ahead of me.
I have no idea which way it's going. Sorry. Maybe you can give I missed it. you can. Oh God, I've missed it again. You give the you recap it if you know.
What's the score? I have it as 2-1. Oh, it's 3-1.
3-1.
I'm way behind then. Who scored it? Isak again? No, not Isak. Callum Wilson. It's his third in 2 games.
Wow.
I wonder who's going to get the assist, if any. It's come from a corner, but it's taken a couple of touches. So we shall see. Yeah, that should do it. With Newcastle's defense, I don't see Brentford being awarded any more penalties. They've already gotten 2 this game, but we'll see. Yeah, you're a fair amount ahead of me in the Newcastle game. I didn't know you had all these games on. I thought it was just to have.
Well,
I thought you just had a couple.
I'm doing my best. But it's very frustrating to.
That looks like that might have come off an arm, by the way. I'm wondering if that one's going to get ruled out. You're ahead of me, though, so you might have seen it already. But it looks like it does come off Callum Wilson's arm before he puts it in the back of the net.
And as goes par for the course, we need Chelsea to be on top. And Conor Gallagher just got a slight touch to the ball as a Wolves defender went in and massively cleared it. And he's actually been given a yellow card for that. Maybe my replay is not the best angle from that, but it looks very much like he went in a bouncing ball on the edge of the Wolves box. Conor Gallagher got his foot into just a touch on the ball from the side, and the Wolves defender came running towards it and cleared it, smashed it, but and then went to the floor due to the mild contact. And he's been a free kick's been given to Wolves and a yellow card for Conor Gallagher. It's daft.
I'd be shocked if this goal stands for Newcastle. It looks very clear that it comes off his arm. We'll see how much the Saudis have paid this particular referee.
What a spurious accusation there.
Oh, yeah, I know. Fire me.
I can't. We need you to do the videos. Yeah. It's
ruled out?
Yeah, it's been ruled out.
Yeah, I figured as much. That one looks pretty clear.
I swear it's just a deal with the people who do the teleprompter thing just to get them to actually do their bloody jobs.
What's that? What do you mean?
You know, when they update the scores, the teleprompter.
Oh, yeah. He'll read anything that's on the teleprompter. Have you seen Anchorman over there? I don't know how big of a movie that was.
My tiny little nipples went to France.
Love that. It's a great movie.
I honestly can say that I'm waiting for a red card in the Fulham West Ham game, and Fulham.
Did we not cover this, by the way? Sorry, both were given red. Are we talking about Stellini and De Zerbi? Eugene, go ahead, Jan. What were you saying? West Ham.
Oh no, maybe we should cover that. I've been focusing on matches that directly affect us, because I just like punishing myself, and really thought that Chelsea could get a goal back or 2 against Wolves. Wolves are playing very well. It looks like they're doing what Wolves do, which is where they turn up and bother a team and manage to play okay and not, and defend really well. Chelsea are battering, knocking at the door, not getting a goal, not anything really, nothing truly dangerous in the final third or in the box. There's a lot of pressure, but they're just not doing it.
So were they sent off before the game even started then? Or was it that was the warning and then they eventually kept going and got sent off? I don't think this at all. I don't know if you watched Palace, but they had, I think, 4 or 5 straight matches where they didn't have a shot on target. So I don't know if Vieira would have been able to work his magic this season or not.
Sue Smith has pointed out that the goal for Wilson that was ruled offside was actually his shoulder, and they're going by the t-shirt rule, but it doesn't seem to make a difference. So there's just a complete lack of consistency here.
And Mbumo does a complete, or I don't know if that's Mbumo. A Brentford player does a complete dive in the box, one of the worst dives I've seen in a while, and then complains to the ref. Really makes you not love the modern day football era.
Wolves are literally conceding about a foul every 60 to 90 seconds here. It's appalling.
Playing with fire, aren't they? I actually think Chelsea get an equalizer here. I don't know when, but breaking news here. Sorry, Leicester have the ball in Bournemouth's half. Haven't seen much of that. Don't worry, they've given it up. Now Bournemouth back on the front foot. So, yeah, I don't really see. I mean, technically on some of these betting sites and supercomputers and all this kind of stuff, Everton are still the favorites to go down, but I think at this point these computers are just taking into the account the Leicester's remaining schedule and the amount of goals they've scored, etc. Because you can't tell me watching this Leicester team, not only today but for the past month, that they're in any shape to stay up. They're so bad. At least I know we had a bad performance today, but over the last month, you can't tell me Everton haven't at least looked decent and showed fight and all that sort of thing. Leicester just look like they don't belong. A lot can change from week to week. I understand that, but nothing from what I've seen.
There might be an argument that Fulham should have a penalty here because Bowen's gone sliding in and then tackled. Who's Fulham's number 10? It's not Mitrovic. He's not on. Mitrovic is number 9.
It's not Andreas Pereira, is it?
Oh, Kearney. That really should be a penalty for Fulham. But he's brought it back and given it outside the box.
Oh, the live anguish, ladies and gentlemen.
So, no, he's given it well away. Sorry, it's miles away. I'm getting it confused from a replay from before. It's confusing. He gives it for that. And, don't trust me. Don't trust me. Why would you trust me?
We trust you, mate. Yeah, Reds in...
corner. And it's just picked out by Fabianski. We need him to do his fancy footwork again.
Fabianski? Who's that? Who's fancy footwork?
Oh, Fabianski, when he conceded that that third or fourth goal or something, when he came out and just did the weird...
Anyway, that was fantastic. Yeah, I want to try to find a way to get that one on stream. That was beautiful footwork.
It would have been great as an assist.
I think it's a little... I know, on our score screen over here, whatever, they show Spurs and Brighton as both having reds, but it was given to the managers, not the players. I think that's a little bit silly because it gives you the idea that they're playing 10 on 10, which is not the case, obviously.
Oh, what is it? When they've got the red over the top?
Yeah, as they're showing, it's not a ticker, but the repeated scores in the top right corner or whatever the case, they have the red over the top, which is just a little bit silly, in my opinion. But still taking you around the league. I know we're just commenting on the ones that pertain to Everton related things, but around the league, it's still 1-0 to Villa over Forest. Brentford 1, Newcastle 2, Fulham 0, West Ham 1, Bournemouth over Leicester 1-0, Brighton and Spurs currently level at 1, and Wolves 1-0 over Chelsea at the minute. I feel like I'm missing one. I thought there were 7 games going. I guess there's only 6. That's right. But no, that's around the league. I don't know I've got Brentford and Newcastle on, along with Chelsea, Wolves, and Leicester, Bournemouth. I don't have the other ones up, so I'm not sure Jan has West Ham and Fulham. I know that, but Spurs and Brighton I haven't been watching. Same for which one am I missing? Oh, Villa and Forest I haven't seen any of, so I don't know how that one looks. It looks like in the comments Forest are just kind of taking desperation, not looking too much, and Villa have been on form. So we expected Villa to win that game, but we certainly hope they can find a second and just put that to bed. Ollie Watkins, we'll see.
I mean, I don't want to say anything ridiculous, but it's almost a case of I'd eat my own elbow if either Chelsea or Fulham didn't score and it finished this way. It's how neither of them have scored yet is beyond.
Oh, what a save! Oh, Iheanacho with the glorious. It should be 1-1. Oh my, what a save! I mean, to be fair, maybe he shot it right at him, but Iheanacho's got the entirety of the net from about 6 yards out, and he shoots it right at. I forget Bournemouth's keeper's name at the minute, but he shoots it right at him. It might have been that's onside. That absolutely would have stood. What a chance for Leicester! Still 1-0 to Bournemouth.
And
oh, he's got the entire net. Oh man. Wow. Looks like another injury. I think someone reported on Harvey Barnes coming off earlier due to an injury. That's not happened, but he is down again. I don't think that's happened. Looks like his twin brother, put it this way, who's on the pitch right now looking injured. So I don't know who that is.
Who are Brighton playing? Sorry.
Spurs, at Spurs.
It should be a penalty for Brighton. Are you watching that match?
No, what's happened?
Mitoma gets his foot stamped on. Another, potential red card, should be a penalty, and they've said there's no contact. This is what I mean about biased refereeing, with unconscious bias, when they look at it and go, "Oh well, they're the away team, and they're playing, against Spurs, so therefore they're just gonna play for a." They're not even referring it to VAR or anything.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes now coming off. Oh, I tell you what, I apologize to everybody involved. I was apparently significantly far behind in the Leicester-Bournemouth game and didn't even realize it. So whoever said that in the chat, Barnes coming off, you were live and I was not. So now I've fast-forwarded a few minutes. Still 1-0 Bournemouth, but I don't know what's happened there. Sorry about that, guys. That's pretty funny, though. Can you imagine if there were like 2 goals scored and I didn't even know it for the last few minutes?
Right, Fulham have worked it into the box on the right. They're clear through. There's a head. There's nobody in the middle. And he's going to... No.
Shocking that though.
But Chelsea have not had a shot on target for a long time. I'm just about to say that they're all over Wolves. Wolves are giving away. They're very, very aggressive physical play.
Did you see the Villa goal, by the way? It's a John Joe Shelby masterclass. Absolutely serves it up on a silver platter from 9 yards out, and Traore just buries it. I mean, it's so bad, and you just love to see John Joe Shelby involved.
You mean what, against Forest?
Yes.
So Shelby knocks. Okay, excellent. Sorry.
Shelby just hands it to him. Here, have this goal. Yeah, I was trying to find the Mitoma thing you were just speaking of, and I haven't yet, so it's not all over the Twitter.
Peter Walton is like the Sky Sports referee. Yeah, there we go. The Blues has got it here. Peter Walton, a very good former referee, has admitted that the referee's got that wrong.
No goal updates as of now. It stands the same way. I guess at this point there's a few things we'd like to see. And like you said, Chelsea seem to be all over but can't finish. And now Wolves on the counter.
I mean, the only thing, well, I'm not advocating anything, don't worry. Watchalong, sing a song, rip a bong.
Should be a yellow card, and it is. Mateus for Wolves, a horrible challenge. Bournemouth were in again. Great defending from Leicester. Yeah, a couple penalty shots, but not really. He's completely gotten the ball. Approaching 80 minutes here at the King Power. Leicester showing no signs whatsoever of scoring a goal. I've said all I can about Leicester. Who are their upcoming games? I want to say they had a fairly tough run over the next couple of weeks, but maybe I have them confused with someone else. Let me look.
Yeah, the Blues has said he does notoriously defend. He was quite a good referee, so he knows what he's saying. But you are right. Sometimes he can say, I can see why he did that. But then Howard Webb was the one that BT go to, and he's a lot better because he decides that I don't owe them anything. I owe the game of football the truth. That's a bad foul on by Mateus Nunes, the goal scorer at Molineux, on Mudryk from behind. And he's just hacked his leg out. And I'm waiting for the yellow card. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. Play's resumed. I'm still waiting. But no, it's not going to be given. It's what is going on in the Premier League today is just appalling refereeing.
By the way, Leicester's running. This is how it looks. There are a couple of games against bottom sides, but next week they go to the Etihad.
What do we have? Fulham. And Fulham are running into the box. I can't think of who it was because it's just flashed away from him. And then the West Ham defender gets his studs, rakes his studs down the back of the Fulham player's leg. Not even a free kick. This is appalling refereeing. Appalling.
You reacted. I thought someone scored.
No, I thought it was going to be a penalty. I was like, yes, a chance for Fulham. This is appalling refereeing. I'm sorry, just absolutely. There's no.
That's
there's no
that's a great
how.
save.
He's in possession of the ball. The Fulham player is in possession of the ball. He's dribbling right on the edge of the West Ham box. The West Ham defender goes in and sort of reaches his foot forward on the stride from behind towards his own goal, and his studs go down the back of the calf of the Fulham player and don't touch the ball at all. It's not even a free kick. It's appalling.
Yeah, Ross has beat me to it. Leicester go to the Etihad, where it's very possible they lose 7-0. Then they host Wolves, go to Leeds, host Everton, go to Craven Cottage, host Liverpool, go to Newcastle, and then host West Ham. I still think that their last game of the year against West Ham could be to stay up for both teams. We'll see.
You mean obviously, like ours against Bournemouth? And
very possible.
Having said that, the ball goes down the other side of the pitch and West Ham have it. Although, admittedly, if anything would have happened and he'd have scored, I think it's Antonio, it would have been offside. But it's just, there's no understanding what's going on here.
I'll say this: if there's any semblance of positivity from that game, it's that will be Fulham's 4th loss in a row, and they come to Goodison next week, a struggling and injured side. So maybe that's one of those where they'll hopefully have no momentum whatsoever.
Oh, what are you doing?
Who? Context.
Oh, sorry. Fulham got the ball through. He's clear through with about balls fed through, and he's made a beautiful diagonal run just into the box, goes round, and Fabianski slides down and just gets a hand to it. He should have chipped it over him. It's just, Fulham should have equalised.
Chelsea with a couple of penalty shouts. Aubameyang gets
Spurs 2-1.
It's not a penalty. Spurs 2-1. Who scored? I bet Brighton equalized, by the way.
Harry Eyelash Kane.
Of course. It's got to be Kane. Eyelash Kane.
Eyelash it in the back of the net, Kane. Oh, Fulham! Fulham should... Oh, no, Chelsea! Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong game. Chelsea run forward. Aubameyang had some great play, but Sarr...
I'm a bit ahead. I just went through that whole thing, but I'll leave Chelsea Wolves alone. I'll let you.
No, it's okay. I'd rather have the truth I'd rather have an ugly truth than a beautiful lie.
Disgraceful decisions have cost Brighton. Yeah, that's the game I definitely was the most, I mean, from a footballing perspective, most interested in, I guess, but I haven't seen any of that one.
In regard to Brighton being absolutely robbed, yes, with that penalty, and then it goes the other way, and it just changes the entire flow of the game. It doesn't matter. People could, if Tottenham had a goal disallowed, or let's say, for instance, you walk away from this and Spurs get another goal now, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't say, oh, the goal wouldn't have counted, because it would have come at a pivotal point when it would have been a penalty. But just like they've been robbed, Chelsea have clearly been robbed here. Every time Chelsea have been robbed by poor decisions. West Ham have been favoured by the officials. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ryan. Ryan has said here, every time Jan raises his voice, I get excited. I'm literally learning from Sky Sports. Oh, a Liverpool player is... Oh, yeah, that's right. A Liverpool player is breathing. Oh. Sorry. Wow. And Liverpool continue to exist as a football club, even though they're not playing. Sorry, just.
Someone is good. I hope someone plays that back as they play back my earlier clip of us being sophisticated.
Right, that's a bad foul. And he's kicked it away. That's got to be a yellow card. Wolves, Chelsea had a foul. And Gomez, it's. Oh, he does finally get the book out with 4 minutes left to play. Kovacic was. Oh no! What? Kovacic booked for Chelsea. What are you talking about? What is this madness? What is going on? What is going on?
Yeah,
You get pushed off the ball. I can't. What is going on? Yes, Chelsea. Chelsea have got the ball. Chelsea have got the ball. Chelsea have got the ball. And they're probably going to be penalised for it. Oh, Chelsea corner.
Wanderlust, what are you seeing? He's got his eyes.
Fulham have got the ball. Fulham have got the ball on the break now. Chelsea have been caught off. The ball's played across, and it's cut out by. Oh! There's going to be a broken leg here. There's going to be a broken leg. Kufal just goes slightly. It's all over the shop. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I need some tissues here.
You need something. Maybe less caffeine. Maybe more.
Maybe.
Don't get this comment. That's right. You don't get this kind of stuff from Jeff Stelling.
But Kovacic, I think it was Kovacic, got fouled. Got fouled by Wolves, and then the Wolves players kicked the ball away. No! Yes, finally. Sorry, Wolves barged the player off the ball and played it through. He-Chan was gonna, Wanderlust says He-Chan. Admittedly,
the yellow card was to Ben Chilwell, by the way, or he's just gotten one.
No, but Kovacic got a yellow card.
Gallagher's got to be careful.
I don't know whether it was him or someone else that got fouled. But Wolves player fouled a Chelsea player, and then two Wolves players obstructed it with one of them kicking the ball away from where the Chelsea had placed down to take a free kick. And then a Chelsea player gets the fucking yellow card. I'm sorry, but Stevie Wonder would do a better job of officiating these matches with a guide dog.
Of course. The guide dog being Howard Webb, to be fair. Yeah. Gonna need some late magic for any of these results, or for more of these results to go our way as well. Still nothing more in the Villa game.
You know what? Yeah. Go home, PGMOL, you're drunk. I swear, PG. Oh, there we go. Gallagher's probably going to get sent off or something.
No. He didn't get booked. I thought he was too.
Okay. All right. Okay. But it's like they saw Ivan Toney do something for corruption, and PGMOL just collectively went, "Hang on, hold my beer."
Isak's
Gallagher slid in and actually sort of protected the ball with his foot. Oh, and he got stamped on. The back of his leg got stamped on, and yet it's given the what?
Oh, it's over the bar. Chelsea with a threat. Nothing doing. Here's Leicester, though. Speaking of threat, we're almost into added time. Just a horrible shot. Leicester in full panic mode. It is. I've said it once. I'll say it again. I cannot believe we're seeing this from Leicester City Football Club. But it is what it is. We are 5 minutes of added time, by the way, at the Molineux. We are a minute and a half into that. There will be 6 minutes of added time at the. Huh?
What? Sorry, no, I'm just talking out.
6 minutes at the King Power. Just getting into added time there as well.
5 minutes at Molineux, 4 minutes at Craven Cottage. We've got 4 minutes left at Molineux and 3 minutes left at Fulham.
Leicester turn the ball over once again. Bournemouth on the attack. Don't seem satisfied to take it to the... Oh, yes, they will take it to the corner.
Oh, Chelsea have just stolen possession 20 yards out and it's slid through and Aubameyang's got it and he doesn't want to take a shot. Oh, it's blasted over. What are you doing? Chilwell. Chill poorly. No chill.
Chill poorly.
Gallagher slides the ball in. Aubameyang gets it, doesn't want to do anything to it, and Chilwell thinks he's playing rugby and he's gone for a conversion. Sorry.
No, I've got my eye on the same game. I really can't believe that Wolves are going to take all 3 points here. It's so stupid. I'd like to add that Chelsea are not mathematically safe from relegation. Chelsea look they're not a good football team. Having said that, they'll probably turn up against Madrid just because why not? Because football.
And Fulham have a corner late in the game.
It's a good ball in. Oh, it's an up bar across the bar. Don't worry, you'll see it in a minute.
Are we on about Chelsea or Fulham?
Chelsea.
Okay.
I don't have the Fulham game on.
Okay. Fulham are working it. It went all the way across, and it was a corner on the left, and now they're on the right, and they're working, and nothing. Fizzles out. Like a Catherine wheel shoved in a bucket of water.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Chill won't. Ryan says clip that. You clip it. You have the capabilities. Actually, I don't know if you're on your phone. Hope you're feeling better, though, mate.
Go on. Get the ball. What are you doing? No.
That must
be.
That's the
one.
No.
Oh. Yes, I just caught up with you then, the West Ham.
No, the other one.
Oh. Sorry, West Ham were just clear through, and luckily Fabianski managed to save it. And then Chelsea got the ball through to Chilwell about 10 yards out on the left, and he just fizzed it across, and nobody connected with it.
What a horrible slate of games from an entertainment perspective. Another injury in Leicester Bournemouth, so that 6 minutes might become 8. Only time will tell. Chelsea fans in disbelief as their side looked to be losing again.
Fulham have lost.
1-0 to West Ham. Wow.
It's all over.
That's a massive win for David Moyes and West Ham. That must be said, regardless of which side you're on. That is not a game that a lot of people expected West Ham to come away with. Their away form this season has been beyond abysmal, and so that is the equivalent of Everton or Forest getting an away win from a West Ham perspective. That is massive, massive, and will likely see them safe, in my opinion, if they get that sort of win. We shall see. I mean, it's not like they're pulling away from everybody. They're still only 3 points clear of the bottom 3, but still. Our private chat, some Mabsy said something about David Moyes. I wonder if there were antics after the whistle.
Well, I'm trying to find silver linings, but
Chelsea with one last chance. This will be the last chance of the match. It's in the center. I'm shocked that there's still time left, but there is, and Chelsea have it in the box. It's to the center. They will have I thought it was going out for a corner, but it's not. Referee not blowing his whistle. There to the corner. That is a foul. Has he blown the whistle? No, wow. He's gotten Chilwell for diving, it looks like.
What? Let's
That's
have a look at this.
Surprising one, that.
Ivan Toney should have scored in the death at Brentford, Newcastle, but Newcastle have taken the points. And once again, Anthony Gordon hasn't scored.
Spurs 2, Brighton 1. Spurs have Brighton almost equalized there. This
Leicester's
will be the
finished.
last kick of the game. Leicester's gone down to Bournemouth, have they? Yes.
So what's this against Chelsea?
Chelsea
are flooding.
This will be the last kick. There's nothing to come of it. I'm a bit ahead of you there. Wolves clear it, and that's I thought it'd be the final whistle. We're 7 minutes and 20 seconds into added time. The referee's still not blown the whistle. I don't remember. Oh, there was an injury. A Wolves player came off injured, but I don't know how much he's going to add. It's deep. That's the full-time whistle. It's 1-0 to Wolves. That's the final score. Lampard loses in his return to Chelsea, and Wolves.
Chilwell did actually get fouled there. He didn't dive.
Oh, I agree. I said he got booked. I said they didn't give the foul. I agree. It should have been a foul. I didn't. If I said he got booked for diving, I didn't mean to say that. But the point I was trying to make was that the foul was not given. You said the Newcastle game is over, so I'm a bit behind on that. Let me try to get to Villa if that game is still going on, or is that one over?
And there's a second goal. Yeah. Villa.
2-0? Is it Ollie Watkins?
It is. There's your fantasy.
All he does is score, boys and girls. Someone else is actually captained Ollie Watkins, so it didn't help me as much as I thought it is, but I'll take it regardless. Ollie Watkins. It's a big result for both teams, for Villa and for Forest. Villa chasing Europe. Forest look like Forest. And that's the most I can say for that. That'll do it for that game, obviously. So Forest Forest go down to the bottom three, I should say. So here's your updated picture. The goals will not be updated as Forest. It still says Forest are currently down 1-0 rather than 2-0. But Forest cemented firmly in the bottom three. Well, not firmly. That's a poor choice of words. But Forest, Leicester, and Everton all on 30 games played. Forest and Everton equal on points, but Forest with a massive goal difference that won't change. If anything, that will be a deficit to them because even if we're level, Forest might as well consider themselves a point behind because as bad as Everton looked today, Forest will not gain 9 goals on Everton. I don't see that happening in any universe. But Leicester look shocking again. I'll believe the goals when I see it. Again, they've scored 40 goals on the season, but not many of them have come as of late. So until they find that goal-scoring form, and especially against a struggling side like Bournemouth today, I don't know what to say about them, and they go to the Etihad next week. It's not going to get any easier, at least in the coming week.
I mean, Bournemouth play Spurs next week. They're away. And West Ham are at home to Arsenal. Forest are at home to United. This is next week,
right?
So there is the potential that who are Leeds playing?
Leeds have Palace this week, and then next week Leeds they host Liverpool. And
is it a Monday? It's a Monday one.
But having said that, though, Liverpool's away form has been beyond shocking. We've seen that even against relegation sides. So I don't expect. I have no idea what to expect. It wouldn't shock me at all if Leeds won that game.
Yeah. So. There's a chance that we could then level up on points. Hopefully we can get something from Villa.
Oh, we have to turn up better or more than we did today. At the end of the day, if we look like we did today, we're not getting anything for the rest of the year.
The Spurs game is obviously they had about 7 or 8 minutes of injury time in the first half, but it's still going. They're in the 6th minute. If you're interested, Spurs Brighton 2-1. Brighton should have had is it a penalty or a foul? So Spurs should have had a man sent off. Højbjerg. It's the tip of the Højbjerg.
That is a massive result for West Ham. I can't get over that. And Fulham come into Goodison having lost 4 on the bounce. So you know what that means. 2-1 Fulham next week. Change my name to Mr.
I don't want to. It's ridiculous, but might we see the return of DCL? No comment.
I would love to see that. I think I've made my stance on DCL about as clear as possible for the last few weeks. I would love to see a fit DCL back. I just don't expect it. So unfortunately, the clearer picture that we have, we knew we'd have a clearer picture of the table. And unfortunately, right now, it's not exactly looking favorable for us because no longer do we have this massive cluster on, either level points or 1 point separating. Now it's 17th and 18th on 27, and everybody else has more points than we do. And again, who knows? Next week could be different. If we find a way to beat Fulham and these other teams lose, then we're back to what we had about 3 hours ago or 4 hours ago. So every week it changes, but it's a grim look, with the only positive being that we are not in the bottom three technically, but it is still a grim look. Can't express how massive this Leicester game is going to be here in a few weeks. May 1st is that date, so 23 days from today. That will be the game of the season to that point. Every game is massive. Don't want to stress that, or don't want to understate that, but the Leicester game will be, to that point, the biggest game of the year. And that's a place where we got to win last season, so who knows? But until then, it's Fulham at home, away to Palace, home to Newcastle, and then away to Leicester. So don't know.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I think I'm going to go and
I can't be arsed to do a watch along with Man City and Southampton, if I'm honest. So I think we've had quite a run here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. You have stayed along. The amount of viewers that we've had is fantastic. You've stayed along for most, if not all, of this hour and a half watch along. So we do appreciate that. As always, we hope you like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. We've certainly had we've had a good time with you guys. Not really a good time watching the football, but
in relation to the football, I think I'm going to go share a bath with my toaster, but
at least wait for Bournemouth, mate, for the last game of the year.
Cheers, Ross. Cheers, Wanderlust. Cheers, the Blues. Everyone that's been on, we do appreciate you. Making this, giving us a purpose.
Yeah, it is. I can't, like I said, I'm struggling to say it's been a good time. It has been a good time having this platform. It's been a time. No, it's been having this platform, being able to interact with you guys is a joy, and we do appreciate that, and you giving the opportunity for us to do that, because without you, we're just talking to each other and a wall and my dog. And I mean, it's not like that's not fun, but it's certainly significantly less fun, I would say, because my dog doesn't say much back. Unfortunately, I try.
I was tempted to bring my dog in here.
You still could. Mine's dead asleep, so I'm going to save it for next time. But
I'll see what she'll do. No, she'll just knock shit over.
That's the worst. The cat, the animal across the screen is Ryan's thing anyway. So we don't want to steal his gimmick. He'll get jealous.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to steal Ryan's thunder of presenting a butthole to the camera. Yeah.
You said it best. But anyway, that'll do it for this watch along. Thanks again for joining. We will, I doubt you'll see me tomorrow doing a watch along for those full games, because quite frankly, I'm more frustrated than today than I expected to be. But if I change my mind tomorrow, we'll update you then. I'm sure we'll have plenty of viewers for that. And if not, if I don't do the watch along, I will do a daily recapping those games. But until then, our next planned broadcast, I believe, will be the match preview for Fulham, which will be after Sean Dyche's press conference on Thursday. And
we will try and do a midweek, possibly, with a little bit of update and stuff, depending on how, or early in the week with a reaction to how the matches go.
Plus these new manager appointments as well, because it is expected that Jesse Marsch is going to Leicester, but that's not fully done yet. Not to mention, after this game, I know he was given a vote of confidence, but it wouldn't shock me if Nottingham Forest parted ways with Steve Cooper.
There is Leeds Crystal Palace tomorrow, which could be very pivotal for us. So maybe I'll change my mind.
What result comes that we have that we're going to be positive about?
I have no idea. Don't even ask me.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm with you though. It is relevant to us, but it's going to frustrate us regardless of the way that it goes.
Yeah, but we just want Man City to beat Southampton. Anyway, everybody knows this. We're rehashing things worse than corned beef hash and double fried Mars bars and everything. So, yeah, thank you for joining us on Follow Everton. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. We try and put them up. But yeah, from me, the man with all the hair, and Chris, the man who's always there.
Up the toffees.
Up the toffees.
Well then.